But first, a clear out in Kensington. Several city agencies take to the streets, removing people, tents, and structures from a 2-block stretch of Kensington Avenue. It's the latest in Mayor Parker's push to clean up the long troubled neighborhood. Some call it a critical step in saving Kensington. Others say what happened today only scratches the surface. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
I'm Jessica Cartalia. Tents, people, trash, and drug paraphernalia, all of it cleared out by a small army of workers in the early hours of the morning. The cleanup happened on a 2-block stretch of Kensington Avenue between Allegheny Avenue and Orleans Street. On the left is video that we captured yesterday from that area. On the right is what things look like 24 hours later after the cleanup.
Our team has been covering this story from the very start. Josh Sanders talked to neighbors and have called Kensington home for decades. But first, CBS Philadelphia's Dan Snyder walks you through what happened today.
These are some of the cleanest sidewalks this morning here in Philadelphia.
It's a major change on the corner of Kensington and Allegheny Wednesday as crews got this corridor from the way it looked just one day ago to this. The city acted on its encampment resolution, removing tents, needles, and debris from the area.
That's what the mayor's vision is about. It's about restoring our norms in our communities, in Kensington here in particular.
Officials say there were no major incidents during the action and that most people left the streets before the city moved in. Public Safety Director Adam Geer says city outreach teams have been talking with people living on the streets here since the resolution went up last month. In that time, he says dozens of people have sought help.
36 individuals have accepted treatment as of right now. Treatment that they otherwise would not have had if not for the hard work of these folks who stand behind me.
It's going to stop some deaths hopefully today. I mean, usually we have 3 or 4 overdoses right here.
While city officials lauded the clear out as a success, they now have the task of keeping the street looking like this.
They came in, they moved everybody out, but if you go on the side streets, they're flooded with people.
During the operation, we saw people lining Allegheny Avenue just around the corner from where the cleanup was happening. But Geer says outreach teams were moving into those side streets as well, and that the city wouldn't leave the area after Wednesday's action.
We will have eyes on the blocks, like I said, in case any new encampments try and pop up, that we're notified of them and that we can take them down within that 72 hours.
Asked if that meant an increased police presence in the neighborhood, Geer left that up to police. We reached out to PPD for comment but haven't heard back. Still, Geer maintains this isn't the end of their job.
We're going to meet them where they're at. We're going to continue to do this hard work.
In Kensington, Dan Snyder, CBS News, Philadelphia.
I'm Josh Sanders reporting. As city crews removed tents, needles, and trash along the corridor, 41-year-old Robert Kipsey remembered the painful struggles of his own childhood growing up in the Kensington neighborhood.
Thrown out of my house at 8 years old, tried to stay with my other family members, stuff like that, wind up living with people on the street, figuring it out, was on the run, didn't go to school, stuff like that. Like, terrible situation, mother on drugs.
Now sober, Kipsey runs a recovery center in South Philly and says Wednesday's sweep only clears the surface of what's truly needed.
If you have a bunch of people that are on drugs and suffering from the disease of addiction, and then you have people around that are selling drugs, it's like purgatory. They need help, these people. They need real help, like nothing free given to them, treatment given to them, and a fair chance to live life again, I believe.
While many business owners along the K&A corridor were afraid to speak with us about Philadelphia's ongoing open-air drug market because of who they say are drug dealers.
Then I went up to him and he was like, "You're not allowed to be on the block." And I was like, "Well, my storefront's here."
Savage Sisters executive director Sarah Laurel is not.
They're going to come back. There was absolutely no services that were offered as promised by the city.
City officials say while most people living in the encampments left before city outreach teams could offer help, dozens of people have received some type of help since last month's city encampment resolution.
I don't understand why you would have outreach workers engaging with, upwards of 100 people, telling them that they can gain access to resources and treatment, and then on the day of have the police displace them completely.
Kipsey hopes more will be done.
This way right here seems like it is working, but it's going to take a lot more than what they're doing. I know that for a fact.
Josh Sanders, CBS News, Philadelphia.
And we will continue to follow what happens next for Kensington. Our coverage is also online at cbsphiladelphia.com.